Once you change the foundation of why you're creating, if you don't know your why, if you don't know why you're creating, if you don't know why you're cooking food, then the people who start coming in to consume it are going to dictate your why for you.
Wow.
Because you're just going to start, you're going to start serving them.
Look at that. That was good.
You'll be serving them, but not out of a healthy, grounded place.
That's right.
Man.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
ooh,
I love that, bro.
you cook because you enjoy cooking. You create content because you enjoy creating content.
Yeah.
From there, you can scale. You can open up a restaurant.
Yeah.
You can start pursuing creating content professionally. But if your why is not grounded, you're gonna be all over the place with it.
Welcome to Good Service. We are your hosts, Ben Chung.
and Kevin's Haw.
Each week, we'll be having real, raw, and vulnerable conversations about life, faith, and everything in between, and always over a fire meal.
Come grab a chair. Let's eat.
Folks, welcome back to another episode of Good Service. We are your hosts, Ben.
And Kevin.
And we have a podcast. First, he was one of our first guests. And he has, since then, man, we've spent a lot of time. It's a lot of life, man. And I haven't seen you in a bit. So this is a cool, get together, man, a reunion, I guess. I don't know. Folks, we have, he's the creator of What Had Happened Was animated series. He's a content creator. He's a storyteller. He's a son of God. We have Chaz Charles Smith. I don't know why I did Chaz Charles. It should have been Charles Chaz, but
It's all good.
Chaz Smith is back in the pod. Chaz, what's up, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay.
It's
Glad
good
to
to
be
see
here.
you, bro.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. All right, so I guess we didn't do this when we had you on the first time, so we have a first bite reflection. So before we get into the convo and the food, so today we're back at Beach Bowls Acai Cafe. They're here in Gardena, California. We're having their acai. It's breakfast-ish time, so we didn't want to go too heavy, so we're back with some
light
acai bowls. I'm having one with this is their classic bowl. I think this is like bananas, strawberries, granola, and then we each all have Chaz, you got the mango, Kevin's got the kiwi, I got the pineapple. With some almond butter. Man, I freaking love some acai bowl. So I was praying for you, Chaz, and I was like, I always ask God, like, God, what do you want us to kick off on? And I was thinking about what had happened was, and I just learned that your middle name is Daniel. So I'm like, is that a coincidence? I don't know what it was, but I was praying, and then just the three of us, I just got an image of the three of us hanging out, and I'm like, yeah, God, like we're all brothers. We're gonna be hanging out today, and the word sonship came up, and like I was like, all right, Lord. So I felt like that was it. I was like, God, we're your sons. We're brothers. We're going to be hanging out. Yeah. We're just going to be chatting. And, I feel like, at least for me, I'll speak for myself, I'm learning every day, like, something new about what it means to be a son of God. And so I think that's what it is, man. I think the question is, what are you learning about sonship right now? So what are you learning about sonship? So we're going to take our first bite together.
Yes,
that is the question we're going to kick off on.
I'm trying to get a little bit of everything in there.
Oh,
Got the
dang,
acai,
has
got the
a layer
granola,
of
got
almond
the
butter
mango,
on top.
got the banana.
Yep, I got everything in here.
Cheers.
Cheers, y'all. Shout out Beach Bowls Acai. Fresh fruit.
This is everything I like. Yep.
Man, pineapples. I think pineapple actually might be my favorite fruit. What's your favorite fruit?
Mangoes are fire.
Yeah?
Especially like fresh island mangoes.
Yeah. I'm a tropical fruit guy for sure. So mangoes, pineapples, kiwis, all of it. Papayas, definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I like a good berry of any kind. All berries are solid.
As always, guys, if you guys are curious to what we're eating, check us out on video, Spotify, YouTube, where you can catch all the dope food that we're eating.
Yeah. Chaz, you got something on sonship? You need a
Yeah,
little bit of time?
sonship. What are you learning about sonship?
I got a few things.
Okay.
So hold on 1 second. Let me mix this up real quick.
Yeah,
mix it up.
Let's mix up our meal a little bit. I need a little bit of time to think about that because I've been learning too much stuff lately.
I'll kick us off. The first word that comes to mind is being and receiving. Like we do nothing to be sons. It's funny, I did this workshop last night. It was my first time ever pairing a dance workshop with like mentality, mindset building. And a big part of it was like identity, right? Like, you know, I'm talking to creatives and people who are building businesses, entrepreneurs and stuff like that, but they're also, you know, they're dancers. And so I felt like for me as a dancer, in the past 20 years, I would always identify myself dancer first. I'm like, when people would ask me like, hey, like, you know, what do you do? Oh yeah, I'm a dancer. But I would mistake me saying what I do for what I am, right? Like I am a dancer. And so as I was sharing, you know, last night with this group of people, I'm like, hey, you know, brand, like what is brand identity? How do you know what your brand identity is? And like, well, you got to know what your identity is first. And so I kind of talked about this concept of be, do, have, and it's not something I made up. I actually heard this from Myron Golden, who's incredible.
Solid.
Yeah, he's
Solid
a man of
man,
God,
God.
but also just a great businessman, lots of wisdom. And he talked about this concept of be, do, have, and he said, you know, it starts literally in that order: be first, and then do, and then have. And he's talking about in Genesis where God is like, be fruitful, right, and then cultivate, be fruitful, multiply, and cultivate the earth, right? And so that's like the concept of like, be is who you, like God said, just be fruitful. This is who you are, and you're made in the image of God. And there's the danger of getting that out of order. So doing it like the way that the world operates is do, have, be, right? Like do a bunch of stuff and then you get something from it. And then from what you get is who you are, right? So like the do, have, be is the way that the world operates. And we get stuck in this hamster wheel of like, I guess I got to keep doing that so I can keep having value. And I believe that's like the lie of the enemy, right? Like flipping that order, like, you got to go do stuff, man. And then you'll get stuff from it, and then you'll get value from that. And that's your identity. And so, so when I think about sonship is, you know, God says you are made in my image and you did nothing for it. So it's this idea of just receive sonship. And I also never used to really think that sonship also comes with authority, because who are we sons of? If we're sons of the God of the universe, like the Lord of Lords, and we're his sons, that comes with authority, that comes with a calling, that comes with responsibility. And so, I think that we receive that. We need to operate in humility to honor that gift and the calling. So, I don't know. I feel like we receive, humbly operate with that authority and that calling, and it's a cycle, man. Like we're always receiving from the Lord. You know what I mean? And even like this conversation that I was like, God, what should we talk about? And then the Lord's like, sonship. Cool. I just received that. All right, God, I guess we're gonna talk about sonship. We'll figure out what that is. So that's just some of my first thoughts.
That's good, man. Charlie, what were you smiling? I remember the moment he said it, you were already smiling. So I was like, all right, God, what you got up your sleeve? Why is he smiling about this? What you got?
Yeah. The theme of sonship has been so relevant for me since I moved out here. 8 years ago, I didn't even say that yet. You already hit those.
You moved out here.
I have a feeling where it's going. But anyways.
So, where do I even start, man? I'll start with this. Currently, I badly, y'all know this, but I very badly injured my foot.
Yeah.
What was this? August, 5 months ago now.
Wow.
I dislocated it playing basketball. I did not get crossed up. Don't try it. I went up. I was really exhausted that day. Shouldn't have even been playing for real. So I just my movements weren't sharp. I went up for a layup. And when I landed, somebody might have pushed me in midair a little bit. So I was kind of off balance, landed and rolled my ankle so badly that it dislocated, popped out of place. I felt the ligaments tear and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to insert that photo.
Oh, man. It was very painful. That was a Bane reference. Anyway, leading up to that moment, I kept the Lord had continuously been telling me, rest, 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 in so many different ways. One example, so I break bread. There were 3 different times I had come in, back to back to back, all with different people. And when we were praying together in groups, every single group I was in was like, I feel like God's saying you need to rest. And I was like, I started getting mad here. And I was like, what does that even mean? What do you mean rest? I'm supposed to be working right now.
Stop telling me that.
Yeah. And there were other moments where just random people I would meet, it just kept coming up. And after I injured my foot, I didn't have a choice.
Yep.
I was in my room
Yep.
or just on the couch for a month and a half straight. But what's so interesting about this? There's just this strange parallel that's taking place. That injury happened March, April of this year with my left ankle. 4 years before that, the same thing happened. I didn't dislocate it, but I rolled my ankle really badly in March or April 4 years prior. And 4 years before that, in 2017, I rolled my ankle in March or April. Same foot,
man.
Every 4 years, in around the same time, and every time it happened, people would come up to me, and just be like, "Hey, can we pray for healing for your? Can I pray for healing for your foot?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And this would happen. It's happened at least twice every single time where they were praying for healing, physically, and then they started praying into rest and sonship. And what was significant about this time is I started hearing those same prayers before I got the injury. And so reflecting on, there's so much more to be said about all that. But ultimately, to answer your question, what I've been reflecting on and what I've been learning this year over the past several months since this happened is rest happens on 3 different levels that I see, even from a biblical perspective. Physically, we need to sleep. We need to eat food. That's one level of rest. That's necessary. Next level beneath that is what people would consider a Sabbath to be, active rest, doing things that you enjoy, taking time away to just sit and be with the Lord and reflect on who He is and how good He is. Just putting work aside. That's on a soul level. But in order to even rest fully on a soul level, what I think the most important thing is on just spiritually, and it makes me think of Hebrews 3, at the end of Hebrews 3, beginning of Hebrews 4, where the writer's talking about the Israelites Israelites from the past, they weren't able to enter into God's rest because they lacked faith. In order to really be able to put work down and rest and have a Sabbath, you need to trust Him and know that He is God. And I think that ties directly into sonship, because for myself, leading up to this most recent injury, was just working myself so hard, feeling like I need to be productive and that I can't take breaks, and it resulted in me not taking care of myself, becoming overexhausted, and end up with this injury.
Yeah.
But when I'm in a place of understanding, like, oh Lord, you got me, you're taking care of me, I'm all right.
Yeah.
This work will get done. I can put it down for now and just be with you. What I'm trying to get at is just having this. It's almost like a passive understanding that you're my father and I'm your son. I don't have to think about this or worry about anything, which means I can, like, I have faith in you and who you are, that you're taking care of me. Therefore, I can actively rest, and therefore, I will be at peace when I physically rest and sleep at night. I was losing sleep for I don't know how long. Only recently have I been able to really start sleeping through the night, but it's because I've been taking care of myself. Like, I decided to start buying some vitamins and supplements, like magnesium. Like that's one thing physically.
His skin is glowing, y'all. It's glowing.
That's the shea butter. On a soul level, I've started being intentional about just exercising and eating more frequently rather than just working in my office for a bunch of time. Like stepping away to just set an alarm to take time to just pray and sit with the Lord, even if it's for a few minutes, just to have a break in my day. And then again, at the deepest level, spiritually, just trusting like, oh, you are who you say you are. Your character is sure. You're faithful. You're steadfast in your love. That's the foundation I stand on, not my ability to be productive or feel accomplished and all that. And then on the other hand, with sonship, something that's just been very recent, only within the past week or two, just considering like, also in Hebrews 12 talks about that God chastises and disciplines those who he loves. And discipline is for those who are children of God. And so considering and praying about like, what does it mean to be disciplined right now? What does it mean to have discipline in my life and just be consistent? Like, just two simple things I've tried to start doing: waking up at the same time every morning, and just going to exercise consistently. And that's been really good. Just those two simple things. That's on a soul level. Then like work, just considering like, how am I using my time? I think I spend too much time. I spend too much time scrolling on social media and looking at memes and finding stuff to laugh at. And I think what that comes from, in part, it's not a bad thing, but overdoing it. I think what that comes from is not keeping in mind and having clarity of just purpose and what I need to be focused on a day-to-day basis. So that ties back to what you were saying about what was it? You mentioned. Oh yeah, Ben, both of y'all were touching on this, but the be, have, do part, like
do have.
Be, do, have, yes.
There you go.
Do have.
Yeah, and it's in alphabetical order too, so you can remember it.
Right.
So yeah, being, if you know who you are, then you know what you're called to do, and if you know what you're called to do and you do it, or if you do what you're called to do, then you'll receive from that, and other people will receive from it as well. There we go, mic drop.
You know, anytime I think about God as my father, it's so easy for me to think about my own sons. You know, I think about Connor and Emmett, and when I think about my own boys, something that struck me right now as you guys were talking about sonship is I started thinking about, what do my sons do every single day at home? Like, what does that look like? And what's awesome is when you're a good father and you're a good provider, and we know that God is our good father and good provider, if that is real and we're called to childlike faith, my sons never worry that rent is due. My sons don't worry if there's food in the fridge. My sons don't worry if there's snacks in the pantry. My sons don't worry that there's clothes in the closet. They actually don't worry about any of those things. They just wake up and be. You know, they don't think, oh no, like we're gonna run out of toilet paper. Oh no, we're gonna, you know, whatever it may be. Like we don't have water or something. They never think about these things. And don't get me wrong, for the listeners out there, I don't know what conditions they're in, and I'm not trying to say that, you know, if whatever their situation, it might be worse than what I'm talking about, because maybe their family situation is not there. But you know, I apologize for that. But what I will say, I am a good father and I am a good provider. So my kids don't worry about any of those things. And as they wake up and as they go to school and do the things that are in front of them, the invitation to their work of, hey, this is what you're called to do in this season. my sons don't ever worry about the basic needs of their life. And that makes me think, man, if I'm called to childlike faith, why am I worried about those basic things? I shouldn't be. I should literally be in that faith as a child to know that I'm just covered just because I'm God's son. And if I could just sit there and look at my own boys as my example, like I just need to be like them. I just need to joyously step forward in the faith that my father covered me. And so I definitely think about that. Like that was the first imagery that really comes to me is I think about children and how carefree they are. And God really wants us to be there. Not to say that, hey, my boys still got to do chores. They got responsibilities. They still got to show up. They can't have a bad attitude. They got to work on character, right? Like these are things they have to do. They have to work on discipline. They have to get better at sports. What they have to do, they have to practice, right? To get better at drawing, they have to practice. So there's disciplines that are still demanded. There's character that's still being grown. But outside of that, everything else, God wants that joy. I want my kids to be joyful. I want them to not worry about these things, but instead work on your character, work on your disciplines, and be good men is what I focus on.
What's up, Stewards? So people have been asking us how they can support the podcast, and the best way for you guys to support us is by joining our Patreon. As a subscriber, you're going to get exclusive content such as Q&As, bonus interviews, hot takes, vlogs, and so much more. This show is a labor of love, and we do have financial needs to keep the podcast going. So if you would like to join our Patreon, log on to patreon.com/goodservicepodcast and join our community today. We love and appreciate you so much, Stewards. Thank you so much.
I think even beyond what you were talking about initially, just if they're never worried about rent, toilet paper, food, water, anything like that. I think even beyond that level, do they ever question whether you love them?
Right. No. Yeah.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Because, like, of course, you're not perfect. You're human. You have your moments, but you're a good father. So how much more my Father in heaven loves us? And that's something I need to remind myself.
That's
like,
good.
and I think that's
good.
When I sit in that and remember, like, oh, you love me, you care about me, and you're taking care of me. Like, those are different things. That allows me to really sit in that, like I mentioned, that spiritual faith level of rest.
Yeah, that's good.
Resting in identity and sonship.
Yeah.
I think when you were talking about, the provision part, you provide for your children not out of, it is your responsibility. So you brought these, humans into the world and you have to keep them alive. But I think it goes way beyond that. And I'll ask you, do you find it to be a drag to provide for your children? Like, it's like, man, I gotta refresh their snacks again. I gotta make sure that there's food in the fridge. I gotta make sure they got clothes on their back. Is that a drag for you?
I would say what's interesting about that question is that in the past, I totally could see myself being that person. Because the reality is, when I wasn't centered in, even in my parenting and being a father, if I wasn't centered in God, if I wasn't centered in Christ, I wouldn't love them as much as I do today.
Wow.
And that's real, because
that's real.
In the past, I was still chasing all the things of this world, right? So I'm still chasing some sort of status or some sort of coming to, like, I've arrived, right? Whatever that feeling is, of whether it's career, how I show up in society, whatever those things are. And you start losing sight of like what really matters. And the truth is, when I was in my 20s and 30s, and when I first had Connor, my oldest, and he was too young to remember, there were moments where just parenting was so hard. And I was trying to still fit having a kid into whatever dream I was chasing. But that made no sense. Like, none of that made sense. So once self-seeking and selfish behavior, self-serving behavior was thrown out the window, suddenly I was able to love my children the way God loves me. Like, it was really easy to reciprocate that love once those things were fixed. So whenever it comes to relationships, this can be parents to children, from girlfriends, boyfriends, to husbands and wives, all of those, and friendships too, all those relationships, I think what's deeper than the relationship problem, it always comes to my relationship with God. If I could figure out what is going on and what's wrong with me with the Lord, suddenly the rest of it actually just falls into place. It's that's how I've seen it.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds super cliche, but it just isn't. It's something that is beyond just simple explanation as well. I think it's supernatural is part of that. Yeah.
So now, I mean, as a person who walks closely with Jesus, like, how do you feel when you provide for your children? Like, what is the heart posture that you have now when you provide food for your kids?
One of the coolest unlocks you get as someone that's in your family with your future wives and your future children, before, there's a self-serving nature like I talked about, right? And when that's self-serving, there's a lot of feels like infighting. It's like, why isn't she supporting me? And vice versa. Why isn't he supporting me? And then why aren't these little monsters supporting us? You know, there's a lot of this weird back and forth of there's this disunity in the home, right? What God does is I get to do this is how my heart changes.
Wow.
I suddenly feel like, wow, I get to be their dad. I get to make their food. I get to clean for my wife. Suddenly, I'm no longer this tyrant king fighting for territory. You are literally serving and almost treating everyone else as if they're your guests. And you start embodying true hospitality even within your home, which is very gospel-centered. And it kind of naturally starts to happen. You start to go, I get to, I want to. And of course there's tiring moments and days where it's like, okay, I am tired and she wants water right now. Before I'd be like, let's
rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors, yeah. And you know what? Sometimes we'll still do that as a joke just to tease each other for sure. And then sometimes there's that feeling of I'm so tired, right? However, now this is a redemption thing. If that happens, I'm just kind of all right, I'll get it. And as I get it, I'm like, all right, that was kind of cute. And I just let it go. It's a different endearing nature. Instead, it was annoyance, right? That's what it used to be. And so those are some miracles that I want to share, because I know whoever is listening probably has felt all the opposite of what I'm saying. And I know that feeling because I was living that. I was there. I was in the midst of annoyance all the time. But that's not what it is today. So I'm very lucky.
I appreciate that honest answer, bro.
Yeah,
that's
real.
The transformation of your heart, even as a parent. And I think, as kids, I'm pretty sure Connor and Emmett don't think about, I wonder how my parents feel about taking care of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't think about that.
They don't think about that.
You know what I mean?
They don't
think about that.
So I had this literally was yesterday. So I'm at my mom's house, and my mom, when I come to her place, she'll randomly have food on the stove, in a pot or whatever, and I'll always check what it is. I'm like, what is this? And so if it's good, I might eat some of it or whatever. And she never tells me to eat it, but I think she just assumes that I would, right? So it's a weird communication thing. So, but yesterday, she told me, she was like, hey, that food that I left on the stove, you didn't eat it last time, so I had to throw it away. And so I'm like, oh, I'm not just gonna eat your food. But she's like, I leave that for you. You know what I mean? And so it was an interesting thing. She's like,
hey, quick shout out to moms.
Yeah, shout out to moms. And so she says, whenever there's something on the stove, like, that's for you to eat it. And I'm like, but I just assume that's your food. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to eat up your food.
Man.
She's like, you don't know my heart. She's like, you know how happy it makes me when, like I have food out and then it's gone because I know you will eat it or you ate it or whatever.
It's good.
And so she's like, you got to know the heart of your mom. Like, it makes me happy when, like, you're eating the food that I make. Because that's like the mother's like love, right? Like they want their kids to eat, and it's like a very I don't want to make it exclusively Asian thing, but Asian parents don't say "I love you"; they just ask you if you ate.
They just,
you know what I mean? Like
that's black family.
There you go.
For apologies, for apologies, bro. It'll be like, it's not like, oh, I'm sorry for what I did or said earlier. You want to go to the store?
Yeah.
Try to go to McDonald's.
People of color thing. I don't know. But my mom, so she actually.
Wait, do white parents apologize? Do y'all do that?
Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments.
My mom. You know what though? These days, as my mom is getting older, she does apologize, which is crazy to me because she never used to do that growing up. So it's like very within the last, I'd say 5 years.
Hey man, that's some healing right there.
Prayer.
It is. It is.
Prayer,
man.
And speaking of that, I mean, I talked about this on the pod, but like, you know, after I washed my mom's feet during, you know, Holy Week, during Easter, our relationship dynamic has changed, man.
That's
like
great,
the way that
dude.
she communicates to me, the way that she gets vulnerable with me is like a whole different thing. I'm like, man, you used to never talk like this to me, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like when she was telling me, like, it makes me so happy when the food's gone because I know you ate it.
That's so cool.
Now I'm just like, dang, I should just eat everything. Whatever there's food.
Now there's guilt, like you just ate, but there's food there. Like, what do I do?
But
I should just clean it.
So that makes me think. My mom, you know, obviously imperfect, you know, sin nature, the whole thing. She delights in providing for me a food, meals or whatever. How much more does our God in heaven delight in providing for us?
Oh,
so I asked that in that, like, I don't even know that I know that, or I don't meditate on that. I'm not dwelling on the fact that, because I'm like asking God, I'm like, Lord, like, would you provide for me? Lord, I need this. Would you give me this? Yeah. As if like I'm asked, like, Lord, can you do me a favor? You know, like, can I ask something from you? Because I just need this. Whereas, like, I'm not thinking that, like, the Lord delights to provide for me.
Dang, I was like, you know what's crazy? As you're saying that, I'm imagining like 8 billion people, right, in the world. Imagine if they could just get on with the idea that, yes, God, I love you, I know you're real, and I know you delight in providing for me. That's like 8 billion times you would feel that. You know what I mean? But here we are, all torn up and confused.
I mean, yeah, I think about the prodigal son story again, right? When the son who left and squandered all, you know, like his inheritance, and then came sort of in his mind is, I guess I'm crawling back home. I hope my dad lets me back in, basically, right? He's like, let me go and serve my dad and work for him to, like, and then his dad runs to him, puts a robe on him, puts a ring on his finger. Let's prepare a feast. Let's throw a party. My son's home, and it's like it's just the father's joy to come and get his son. You know.
Yeah, you got it pulled up.
I'm trying to find it.
Was there a certain verse that you're looking for?
Yes, there's a specific verse that really stood out to me. I can't remember where it is. I feel like it's in Jeremiah somewhere. I'll keep looking. I could maybe come later. But.
As we there's another topic I wanted to hit real fast is that actually I didn't even tell Chaz this yet, but recently in the last couple months, I think it was about a month ago, or I don't know when that was. So Chaz, if you follow his channel, did like a quick rebrand moment where it was like, I'm gonna put my foot down and tell everybody that I'm coming back strong in this world of creation. That's kind of how I felt. That's the message that I got from it. I actually didn't tell you. It actually very much influenced me. I saw that video.
That's what influencers are supposed to do. I hope.
Yeah.
You were influenced.
So it's
It impacted me because he's an impactor, and I was like, oh man, like, you know what? Even though I do this Good Service podcast on Thursdays, and we record and we release on Mondays and do the 9. And I think this is a one outlet of creation that we get to be partake in and have conversations about God. But I have been itching to talk more about it on my own. And I've been thinking about it for a while. And just to like literally turn on my phone and just to create more conversations around my thoughts when it comes to God. And I saw your video and I was just like, if I wasn't lazy, I would totally do more creation. And I remember thinking that because I am fascinated with newer tools that's out there. It makes things a little bit more, sped up. And I like editing and things like that. So I was like, man, maybe if I could find pockets, I want to start making more content. And so at least on TikTok, I started just doing like these face conversations just to do it for myself. And I just put out a few videos, man. And I just wanted to first tell you, thank you for impacting me and inspiring me to do that. And I wanted to know the behind the scenes of why did you do it that way? Like why? Like you've been creating for a long time. Mm-hmm. I know the struggles in it too, because we talked about that. Yeah. How you're kind of feeling deflated on the creativity front, or you felt like, this is just like work or whatever. Like it just didn't feel that good. Mm-hmm. But now after the relaunch, and now as you even said it right before we started recording, I'm focusing more on creating. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? How did you get refreshed? Mm-hmm. And you got to tell me, was that like a prayed through moment? Like what happened there? Yeah,
it was a series of conversations. First of all, I'm just glad that it impacted you.
It did, bro.
There are a few things in my head. Honestly, I feel like I'm still not like there yet.
Sure.
But one thing that really hit me was realizing like one of the reasons why I have not been like consistent with creating really since I first started on Vine. And one of the questions I asked myself was like, why was I like, what was so different back then in 2013, 2014 when I was just making videos nonstop? It was like I wasn't caring about what people thought so much, and I wasn't worried about numbers. Okay, so what changed? Why did I start to overthink stuff so much? And I think the main thing that hit was, that was the first thought. And then the second thing was like, okay, when a video performs well, I feel good. When it doesn't perform well, I feel bad. I feel like I failed, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't always like that though. So what changed? And I realized like I just needed to give myself permission to fail and make bad stuff and do things that people didn't like or that don't perform well. Because with a following, it's very easy to allow that pressure of like, oh, my profile needs to look good for brands. It needs to have X amount of views and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And once you start getting focused on that, you stop creating stuff that you want to create and that you enjoy making. And so with the whole countdown I did, I was like, this probably isn't going to do well on YouTube. This probably isn't the type of content that will do well on TikTok. It'll probably look good on IG for my audience because it's more communal, but I'm going to try it on all three anyway and just allow myself to feel like to go through all the emotions of seeing like, oh, this only got 324 views. I have 1.4 million followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I just did it anyway.
Yeah.
And it did a couple things for me. It helped me get out of my head a little bit.
That's good.
And it also helped me just to start being consistent again. It was something that I kind of forced myself to do. But I think where I'm at now is in a place of just simplifying. I kind of just going back to how it was in the beginning. Like I didn't think so. And that sounds so opposite of what you're supposed to do as a content creator. It's like, no, you got to have everything planned out and very thoughtful. I'm not saying I shouldn't. Like I still put thought into what I create. But in terms of having a specific brand, in the beginning, I was just making things that I enjoyed and that I liked. And that was the most successful from a like numerical sense time and most enjoyable time that I had in creating. So now I'm just like, let me just do that again and stop overthinking it. I'm going to be like telling stories. I'll be making skits, parody videos, vlogs like I did from this past weekend with the Kobe Bryant event. Just whatever comes to mind. I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, or if something doesn't work out, I'll learn from it. If it starts to look sloppy, it's whatever. But I'm just gonna be do have. Like, okay, I know who I am. I know what I enjoy doing.
Right. That's right.
Let me just do that and stop trying to be something else or make my profile look like something else for other people.
Yeah.
An analogy that I love is that creating content is like making food.
Hey Stewards, we all need prayer, so we're excited to announce our partnership with Seedling. Seedling is an online platform for churches, content creators, and different ministries to connect to their communities through the power of prayer. There'll be real people on the other side, like myself and Ben. We're also logged on. We'll be there to intercede for you through voice and through text. Please log on to seedling.so so we can get connected through prayer. Thank you guys.
Starting from the very beginning, let's say somebody likes making empanadas, right?
Sure.
If your profile is private on Instagram, then you only make empanadas for family and friends and whoever you allow to come into your house. That's totally fine.
Okay,
you can do that.
So yeah.
Once your profile becomes public, then it's like having an empanada cart on the corner of a street.
That's right. It's like,
Might
hey,
be super busy, might not.
come try it out.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even mean you're telling people to try it out. It's just like, hey, I'm just here. Like, you're not necessarily advertising it, but say one person comes by one time, sees it, and writes a review about it, and now all of a sudden you're flooded with people from all, like, there's people lined up on the street making videos I just tried the best empanada cart in blah, 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 right? Like,
who is that person?
and I'm getting, so you start seeing videos like that, right? And it's blowing up. And now at this point, Kevin really liked that one.
Yeah. I just know so many creators that do that. Yeah.
But at that point, you have the option of like, all right, am I going to keep creating in the way that I initially started, or am I gonna take this opportunity to steward it well and leverage and open up a brick and mortar spot or whatever? You know what I mean? The analogy, where the analogy parallels is, once you change the foundation of why you're creating, if you don't know your why, if you don't know why you're creating, if you don't know why you're cooking food, then the people who start coming in to consume it are going to dictate your why for you.
Wow.
Because you're just going to start serving them.
Look at that. That was good.
You'll be serving them, but not out of a healthy, grounded place.
That's right.
Man.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
I love that, bro.
you cook because you enjoy cooking. You create content because you enjoy creating content.
Yeah.
From there, you can scale. You can open up a restaurant. You can start pursuing creating content professionally. But if your why is not grounded, you're gonna be all over the place with it. And that's where I was at for a while.
That is such a powerful thing he just said. And I just want, in my head, I heard it as, because my why is rooted in God, right? Of who I am, B, right?
Mm-hmm.
B, going back to B. So if I am a child of God, I create from that place, right? But if I don't know that, then I will let the world dictate why I create. And that is dangerous. That is,
Man, that lands.
wow. Wow.
Yeah, man, that lands so hard with me because literally last night. So I'm going back to the class that I taught.
Right.
And I'm gonna get vulnerable for a second. So, I'm used to teaching dance classes. It's like, all right, cool, come in, teach some choreography, bounce. That's what I'm used to doing that. And I'll get like a decent turnout as far as like students who come and take. Last night I did my first ever like 2.5. It ended up being like friggin' like 3.5 hours because it just ended up being long, which was, I think, fine. But I took a chance on. I'm like, I don't want to just teach dance. I want to see like if I could like talk about mindset and things like that. For people who either are creatives and like, they want to build their brands or whatever. But I'm like, it's not necessarily just for people who want to build a brand, but I'm like, if you want to just develop your mindset, we'll learn some dance moves and we're going to develop our mindset. And the whole time I'm just like, man, can I even do this? Like, who am I to talk about mindset and things like that? I'm like, I'm not a freaking whatever guru guy.
Tony
whatever.
Robbins.
I'm not a Tony Robbins. I love Tony Robbins. I'm inspired by the dude. So I'm just like,
Benjamin Robbins.
like, how do I do my version of this? And so I'm like, whatever. So I called it Move Your Mind. And I put out, you know, I made a little video. I'm like promoting my class. And so I'm like, you know, I'm like, what do I charge for this? You know what I mean? Like, can I charge this much? Are people even going to show up? Like, is it worth that much? I'm just like, screw it. I'm just going to charge what I'm going to charge, and let's just see what happens. 7 people showed up.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I'm like, this is not successful. 7 people, you know? But I'm like, but I'm working on it. And, you know, this whole, like the last like week, I've been like working on like, how do I structure it? Like I literally mapped out like minute to minute what I wanted. It was supposed to be a 2.5 hour experience. And
That's pretty legit.
And so,
2.5 hours.
yeah, so I'm like, okay,
Jeez.
like let me really plan this out. And the whole time as I'm working, I'm just reflecting in real time right now, like, why did I put so much time into this? Because I really cared about it. Like, this is really like, I want this to be honest. I want this to be like, I dance and I do this. We're gonna go there, but we're also like, here's also what I really care about. I really care about developing myself, my mind, and you know, there's spirituality involved, all of it. And I'm like, I wonder if I can package something that's authentically me, and if I can deliver that to somebody, I feel like that's gonna be meaningful. And then, you know, I was discouraged by the 7 signups. I'm like, dang, only 7 people signed up. And then, you know, as I was driving to the studio, I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, thank you for these 7 people. Like, whether it's 7 or 70, like, it don't matter, like, the number. I put in the work as if 70 people were showing up. And, you know, at the end of it, it ended up being really good. Like, I walked away from it, not like I killed, like, oh, man, I killed it. I was like, man, that was so, like, life-giving even for me to be able to do that. And then, you know, afterwards, the people who showed up, they're like, man, thank you so much for doing this. Like, this is so good. And I left last night just being just so grateful and honestly, like, proud of myself. I'm like, dude, you did that, bro. Like, you've never done anything like this before. You did that. And so for me, going back to even what you were saying about doing something that's just honestly you, and then you're like, yeah, like, you have 1 million whatever followers and only 300 people watched it. I kind of like similar to that. I was kind of like, okay, I have this following and people know me for being this dancer and teacher. And normally I'll get this many people in a dance class, but only this many people showed up. But I was like, you know what, God, where you have me in my life right now, like, this is so, I was so fulfilled by that. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't discouraged that only this many people showed up. I was just like, man, I came with the intention I came with. I put in my best effort. Sure, I'm gonna fine tune things that if I do that again the next time, I know that there's certain things that I'll tweak and tighten up and whatnot. But for like pretty much the most part, I'm like, I did an honest expression of what was meaningful to me, and it translated with the 7 people that came, you know. And I don't know what kind of ripple effects that this has, but yeah, man, I'm just like really just grateful, man. And it's just even just hearing the way that you're approaching your content even now and what you're putting out. Like, do you care about it? Like, is it fun for you? Is it meaningful to you? And whether it translates or not to your audience. And I would say, I said this to the group that I was with last night. I said, if you are 100% yourself, people will either hate you for it or love you for it. But at least you know you're 100% yourself, and that is sustainable. When you are yourself, that's what you can keep being. You don't have to like, how do I iterate myself now? You know, I gotta recreate. You know,
Don't have to try hard to be yourself. You just are.
Yes,
There's a word that's kind of like going through my head as just kind of reflecting on what you guys both shared. And the word that I'm thinking about is, did it edify? Right? Did it edify God? Did it edify the people that came to the class, which is encourage? Did it encourage them, bring respect, honor the work that you're doing? And I think when you show up and create to edify who you are as Son of God, as you come in to create the good work that you're putting out to where you're rooted, this is authentically you who is the Son of God, and coming into the class that way, it will edify. Like, it will bring honor and encouragement to everyone that gets to partake in that. And I think that it's crazy the parallels of, we're all in different spaces, but ultimately, regardless of the worldly outcome, whether it's finance or numbers or whatever, the impressions and whatever it could be, I think ultimately it's like, did I show up, do good work, and did this honor the Lord in what he asked me to do in the invitation and being responsible for what I have? And if I can do all those things, man, I feel so satisfied. And I don't think I knew what satisfaction really felt like in the past. Like, just listening to how you're explaining your class, to me, satisfaction in my past self, if I was like Ben, but like in my past brain of me before God, man, I would have been pissed or upset, even though I did good work, because my results are now based on nothing to do with my identity. I'm basing my results on, whatever the world tells me to do. And I think I was so unsatisfied with anything. So I remember I would just keep chasing the next thing, and I never slowed down to celebrate anything. I do remember that. So that's like literally the opposite of what this all is right here. Yeah.
Well, before we land the plane, Chaz, we got to get into what had happened was, man. I mean, we touched on it the first time, and that was over 100 episodes ago. So
103 to be exact.
There you go. And I know that there's been a lot of development since then. Give us like an update for, I guess, I'm sure there are audience that don't know what you're working on.
Yeah.
So what's going on with that?
Yeah, so I just to give some quick context about why I started, or what it is an animated web series focusing on retelling stories from the Bible in a fun, entertaining way for this generation. Of course, it's going to appeal to kids, but I think it'll also appeal to like anime fans and people who just want to study and learn the Bible, see it in a visual context. That's, people might think of Bible Project where they're more focused on teaching, we're more focused on storytelling. So the idea came out of a desire to want to do something that's both entertaining but also gospel centered. So 4 years ago is when I started just working through ideas. Eventually did a Kickstarter 2 years ago, and then it was originally just gonna be like talking head videos where like, YouTuber style, like, hey guys, so there was this one story where this happened and blah 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 blah, and it would cut between my face and animation. That was what we raised money for on our Kickstarter. Once we actually started working with the animation studio, we were like, we want this to be more like a cartoon. So had to reallocate the budget, revised a bunch of the scripts, and so far what we've produced are episodes 2 and 3 are completely done, aside from like the final audio mix. Episode 1 is done, aside from like another scene and a half that we need to make because that was the first one, and we're like, all right, let's go back and change a couple things. Then episode 4 is halfway finished with animation production. We currently don't have enough money to finish the rest. That's what we're working towards right now. We started a nonprofit that's going to be able to ensure that it stays free, like released on YouTube, to be able to get it translated into other languages, to make sure that supplemental like devotional materials are developed. We'll be able to do stuff with like different apps. I'm not going to name drop or anything. Just we want to make this something that's really dope. So we made a way for people to be able to donate, because this is something that we see as a ministry. If talking directly to the audience, if you or anybody you know would like to learn more and may potentially be interested in giving a larger amount,
yes,
please reach out. You put my email in the description.
Put it all in there.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
But it's looking really good. I like the heart behind this was from knowing that there are so many people who think they know who God is, but they've never actually heard the gospel before. Or they think they know what Christianity and following Jesus is about, but they've never heard an authentic gospel, or they might not, or people who might not ever step foot into a church. I see the platform that the Lord's blessed me with and the gifts that I have as a bridge to be able to get people to see these stories in a way that they never have before, or whether they've heard them or not, and be like, wait a minute, that's what's in the Bible. Let me go read this for myself. Let me get to know God for myself. I think it's something that's going to be really dope. It's going to impact people powerfully. We want this to be a stepping stone, hopefully, to something greater. Like, this is the initial idea, but we want to make a full-on animated series with like legit production value. Not that this isn't legit, but like TV-ready production value. So this is the first step, pilot season on the Book of Daniel, chapters 1 through 3.
The Book of Daniel, and it is legit, bro. It is legit.
Yes. We've seen some screenings.
It's very well done. It's funny and it's entertaining, and it's I love how the take that you are approaching telling Bible stories in this medium. I love it, man.
If you're allowed to say, is there any dates that we should be looking out for in the future? Sometime, not the moment.
And it's not released to the public at all.
None of it is publicly
I'm trying to get some teasers out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We do have like stuff that we've screened, and we're still doing like a bunch of editing. But until we get all 4 episodes finished, we will not be releasing anything. I want to be able to get them all out at the same time, or like 1 week at a time, and just build momentum that way, rather than just like putting out what we have and then it dies down again, and it's like, hey, we're back. Like, that's I'd rather be patient and make sure it's done well and excellently.
That's right.
Than just try to rush to make it happen. So
it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
I think we asked you this on the first time that we had you, but I mean, shoot, man, that was a long time ago. So
wait, one thing, I found that scripture.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Us with that
Jeremiah 3:19. By the way, before you ask that question.
Yeah.
So we were talking about sonship, and you were talking about how your mom just like she enjoys providing for you, right? This is the Lord talking to Jeremiah to share with the Israelites. I said, how I would set you among my children and give you a pleasant land, a heritage most beautiful of all nations, and you would call me my father and would not turn from following me. It's basically saying like how I long to bless you. Like, I want to give you these things. And so I just wanted to share that for people out there who feel like the Lord might be just wanting to withhold from them. I posted something on my profile a couple weeks ago that I think confused a lot of people. I said, like, I just shared how, like, yo, as a believer, I was getting upset about, like, oh Lord, there's these things I've been praying for in different areas of my life regarding relationships and work and just whatever, different things. And it was just weighing. I felt like this heaviness on my heart. And I decided to just like take it to him in prayer, and I was just like sharing, just sharing my thoughts. And this thought hit me that, like, wait a minute, I don't deserve any of this anyway. And I felt this sense, like the heaviness just lifted in the span of a few seconds. That phrase, I don't deserve anything, I think people associate that with, I guess it sounds negative.
Yeah.
And there are like people who reached out to me after, it's like, oh, I don't want to be like, you know, we shouldn't be this woe is me type Christian, or you deserve everything that you work for and blah, blah, blah. That's not the point that I was getting at. What I was saying is when you realize that everything you have is a gift from God, it makes you so much more thankful. Right. It's so freeing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. For the person who's saying like, all right, but I worked for X, Y, and Z. I put in like for an athlete, for example, I put in hours of work every day to get to the spot where I'm at.
Sure.
Entrepreneur, I put in all the time I needed to get to where I'm at. Who gave you those gifts in the first place?
Yep.
Even the work that you put in, the gifts that you needed to do that work are a gift from God in the first place.
Yeah.
We don't deserve anything. And that's talking even from a gospel perspective. It's like we're born into sin. Like we've been saved and set free.
That's right.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you,
right.
Jesus, that I get to have a relationship with the Father. I've been reconciled, that I have your spirit living in me. Thank you for that, Lord.
Yeah.
And he delights, he wants us to know him. He wants us to have a relationship with him, right? So it's not, oh, I don't deserve anything. I'm just, no, it's like, wow, look at what I have and I don't deserve any of it. Wow, Lord, thank you. Let me like turn and live for you because of that. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
I don't even remember with this, like the Lord desires to bless us. So having that perspective, it makes everything so much more light, because then it's like we are given gifts and we get to use them, we get to share them with other people, and then it's like, on one sense, it's like you can do it freely without expecting anything in return. You get to, like you were saying with your family, that you get to just love them and serve them. You get to. But at the same time, it's knowing, like what we were talking about initially, as sons and daughters, Lord, you're taking care of us. We're gonna have everything we need, and you're like, and if you desire to, you're gonna bless us far above and abundantly beyond that, whether it's materialistically, but even more so, just spiritually. I'll have a peace and joy and rest that the world does not have, that they search for in all these material things that they have, but they're still lonely and empty and broken on the inside.
That's right.
That's what I was getting at. And that just made me feel so, man, it allowed me to like just sit into that rest on an even deeper level.
That's great, man.
That's good, bro.
And so that's actually that's a perfect little segue into the final question of the concept of what is good service. And that may be the same as what you shared the first time, but how would you define good service for you, Chaz?
Yeah, I think I'll just go right back to what I was saying before. It's like, I think good service is recognizing the gifts that you yourself have and how you can give them freely to others, all for the sake of the Lord's glory. Yeah, whether you're married with kids or single and desiring to be in a relationship, wherever you're at, it's a gift because you're able to do things that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise in both of those situations. You have gifts that you're able to use for the glory of the Lord, for the sake of the kingdom, for more people coming to know and have life in Jesus.
Amen.
Yeah, love it, man.
That's good.
How can we or our listening audience serve you through prayer in this season?
I feel like 3 people have asked me that over the past couple of days. Not really sure specifically what I need. In prayer, I guess I want to just continue growing in just practical disciplines. I just want to be a healthier man.
It's good.
Awesome. Love it.
We'll be praying for that.
Yeah.
So if people want to support, follow the journey, how can they be following from your personal to what had happened was?
Plug it.
Yeah. So my personal is Chaz Smith on everything, CHAZ Smith. And then the web series is WHHW series on everything as well. Hey. And if you're one of those people who may potentially want to give some more and talk to us, you can reach out at contact@WHHWseries.com.
Hey, there it is.
Chaz, man, dude, it's been such a joy being able to just walk alongside you over the last couple years, and I know there's so much more. I just want to affirm, bro, like, as I was praying for you this morning, and then, like how sonship came up, I think that came up because, like, I mean, even just hearing your prayer request of like being a disciplined man, and bro, my view of you is just that, and I know that God's view of you is way better, and so I just want you to just, man, be encouraged, bro. You are a great leader. You're a great friend. You're a great brother. You're a man that I would encourage any person to model after. So just want to bless you with that, man.
Thank you.
So
ditto.
I look forward to much more, man. Much more. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Good Service. If you find this episode to be blessing you or encouraging you in any type of way, you can bless us by sharing it. Tag the episode, screenshot that you're listening to us, tag us on socials. We'll repost all that, share it, send it to a friend. You can bless us also by leaving 5-star ratings, writing a review on Apple iTunes. And if you want to support us financially, best way to do that is to subscribe to our Patreon. You can provide a meal for us to enjoy. We're also on Cash App. What is our Cash App? Is it just Good Service?
It's just Good Service Pod.
Look up Good
everything.
Service Pod on Cash App. And that's the best way you can support us financially. But please pray for us. Thank you so much for following us. And we love you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Good service.
We out.
Peace. Stewards, thank you so much for supporting good service. People have been asking us how you can support the pod. We have a Patreon.
Yes, if you guys go on there, there's additional content. We're going to be doing Q&As, different announcements, and other types of special things just for our tight community. So thank you guys for supporting us on Patreon.
Please subscribe. We love you guys. Peace,
Jeez.
Stewards.